Good night. Good night, and welcome to this another episode of the Sardi Crest Show. Ladies and gentlemen, a special welcome to you all. And I must give even more special for those who are joining us for the very first time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sardi Crest Show where we discuss education, entertainment, and sports. And as so do Mondays and Fridays, normally geared towards sports or entertainment, but what's going on now. Schoolboy football dominates the program and such. Basically, every night we try to do a review, preview, prediction, and a score our results show. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, will be a little different because there's a lot of information, there's a lot of news, shocking news coming out of ISA. More so, a press release that was posted this afternoon. And before I get into that, I want to say big up to all the PIBA fans in this show. Big up all the PIBA fans, wherever you are. It's a blessing to you all. Big up adrenaline, True Blues running out. A competitive zone. And I must say competitive because guess what? Even the teams that are the minnows in that zone are trying to put one foot in. To if any of these top teams slip up, I'm sure they are ready and willing to step up to take that second place. Big up to all the teams and coaches right across the Costa Cup. Even so, on the Manning Cup, schoolboy football is a gem. And we have seen it so far. We have seen a lot of ups and a lot of downs. More so, a whole lot of excitement. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I have seen? I have been putting together some goals that have been shown, that have been highlighted to me as contenders for the goal of the season. Right now, I can tell you there's a remarkable number of clips with the goals right across the Dakasta Cup and Manning Cup. But we'll put them together for Dakasta Cup and those geared for the Manning Cup. What I want to say to you though, I hope you get a chance to watch them before the Saudi Crest Show bring them to light. And then you'll have an idea. You will be properly armed to discuss and to even vote for your goal of the season. I want to say there are a number of games playing, especially tomorrow. And people, there's a food of thought as it relates to schoolboy football, especially where the diaspora is concerned. So many of us, so many persons overseas who are dying to see the games. And there's so little media, so little mainstream media. We have a lot of social media, more so on YouTube, a lot of YouTube, a lot of vloggers. But what's happening here in Jamaica, because, you know, Sportsmax has the right, Sportsmax is the media that have the rights to broadcast these games live and also delay. So it's not an easy road for the YouTubers like myself to just go out. But I chose some particular games that I will be able to stream. More so the games that persons really want to see. It's still not an easy road. But for me to move around, I still am so much unable to capture 50% of the games that I would love to see. If you notice though, I've streamed two games already, or maybe two and a half. These games that were exciting games. I tried my very best to put across the content in such a way that you'll never want to forget. I said never want to forget, yes? No, it's a reality. And so the Saudi Crest show in live streaming these games, we tried to put across the audio commentary for the game, trying to bring about an excitement. Tomorrow, we'll be streaming from Clarendon. And so, all being well, people, will be streaming from Clarendon. I will not just say yet where in Clarendon or which game, but it's a very enticing game. The meat of the matter tonight, though, what's happening with ISA in terms of eligibility or ineligibility. What do we mean, or what is meant in ISA's term or ISA's way of eligibility? Yes, these are the things that we need to look at. We need to also focus on the responsibility or the responsibilities, ladies and gentlemen. Who is responsible for some of these mishap? Yes, who is responsible? So these are some issues that we want to dive into tonight. Really want to dive. All right. Hopefully, I am coming across clearly. Seems as if I am having a little glare on my screen. Not sure. Hopefully, you are seeing it right. So, people, again, let me ask you as you come into the show, ensure that you like, ensure that you subscribe so you can participate in the show. Now, the fact of the matter, as it relates to the big news that came out of ISA earlier, yes, it's a press release. It's a press release. I want to read the press release. Hold on a second. Let me should have a few coaches on tonight. So all right. So let me try. How do I do this now? I want to send the link to a coach who will be joining us 9 o'clock. How far are we from 9 o'clock, people? He'll be joining us for a talk, a pre-game talk. Yes, I'm still trying. So just give me a minute. Let me just send this information so he can capture this as well. So in the meantime, let's take it out. Yes, so okay. All right. So coach is saying that he's presently in a meeting. So I will see how that goes. Still gonna send it, and if it is possible, then of course we'll have him later on. All right. So guess what, people? We continue. So I really want to look at the press release that was sent out today by ISA. The press release is one of such that I was expecting this press release sometime before. Yes, but it came this morning. There's a lot of speculation prior to the press release. There's a lot of information also, a whole lot of information that was going around as it relates to the topic at hand. Whole lot. But one of the most important thing, people, the most important thing are things, are the facts that surround this. That is what is important. Before I actually read that press release, though, and I'm sure that many of you, if not all, would have gotten the opportunity to see it. But before, there were two main, what did I say now? There were two main investigations going on. that has to do with follow ups, or not just follow ups, let me put it this way. There were alleged there were alleged use of players who deemed to be ineligible. They are not eligible to play in ISA run competitions or the ISA run Manning Cup as it is. So of course these reports were would have made by I believe different teams or different people who support other teams. So yes, rightly so, ISA would have taken their own time, people, to do their investigation, which I believe these investigation based on information they received prior to the competition through the registration should have given them enough powers and information to do so. But I also bear in mind, I have to bear in mind too, that it depends on the nature of the ineligibility that would have taken the time for the investigation. So I do. All right? That's my view. But let's look at it for the press release. And it reads, Re-ISA Digicel Manning Cup competition. The Intersecondary School Sports Association Disciplinary Committee recently met and investigated a matter regarding an alleged use of an eligible player in the Manning Cup season opener by Jamaica College against Tivoli Gardens. The disciplinary committee found that Jamaica College used an ineligible player in the said game and has ruled that 1. Jamaica College will lose all 3 points gained in the match and Tivoli Garden High be awarded the points with a score of 3-0 for the game played on Saturday, September 9, 2023. And you all remember that opening game. Tivoli would have lost to JC 2-0. 2. The player remains ineligible to participate in the 2023 schoolboy competition. Again, we have to look at the nature of what caused him not to be eligible. Jamaica College will be placed on 3 years probation starting September 21, 2023. That is the press release. Now let us look at some key points coming out of this press release. Let us look at some key points. It says a player. That means a report would have given to ISA. Yes? Read this player. Now, as I mentioned, there are many factors that would have deemed a player ineligible to participate in these competitions. Many different factors. And I'm not sure if this is the right way or is it an unfortunate situation. But the question I'll ask of this now, that would have given rise to this player. Could ISA in some way highlight one or two, or maybe what did I say, the main factor that make this player eligible or ineligible? So what ISA has done to Jamaica and to the world right now is to leave us in a balance, in the air, for us to think what could have, for us to form our own opinions, for us to speculate. Is it that this player was deemed to be overage? Is it that this player is deemed to fall outside of the requisite grades and attendance to represent his school? Isn't that this player is transferred Or, in a better term, in the right term, is it that this player is improper transferred? Is that a correct word or term? Or incorrectly transferred? Thank you. Incorrectly transferred. Is it that this player is fall inside of the three-quarter rule from Issa? So there you go, people. There are four factors that I have mentioned already. Which of these factors would have made this player ineligible? I am sure that persons probably right now in this show have an idea or knows exactly which factor or factors would have made this player ineligible. Why? This is strange. People, type in the text, type in the chat. Let me hear what you have to say. I want them bridging MG out here can come give me some real highlights in this thing. Eh? Because MG knows everything we are going with every team. I tell you, MG, big up yourself wherever you are. I don't even know if you have a show tonight, but guess what? If you do, big up yourself. Now, the factors that I mentioned, should we look into each of these factors one by one? Should we look into these factors one by one? All right. Before I go into the factors, let us look at the game that this player would have played. Yes, our games. Again, based on the ruling, people, we can safely say that this player only played one game based on the ruling. Because if he had played two games, then JC would have lost the 6 points they have. Are you following me, people? So JC lost that game by 3-0 in the boardroom. But we were not told if this player played another game outside of that season opener. Yes, we didn't told. We didn't get that information. But the flip side of it, we'll just have to take it as the information comes to us, right? So the information, as I said, and I'm going to read again. Jamaica College will lose all 3 points gained in the match, and Tivoli High will be awarded points with a score 3-0. So based on that, people, I will stop my speculation and I will say clearly, based on what this is saying, that that was the only game the player would have played. But the other story, so many things coming out, Look at this. Who could have been the whistleblower here? Who could have been the whistleblower? Or who was the whistleblower? I am wondering if the whistleblower is from Tivoli Gardens. Because that would have been in the interest of Tivoli Garden. The fact that they have lost unfairly. So hear me now. Look at this now. Let us see if we can zoom into this. Let's see if we can zoom into this. The player remains ineligible. Yes? So he cannot play in this year's competition. Am I to believe that this is a 1 year ban? The term ban didn't use. The term ban did not use in this press release. So based on this situation now, people, if those situations are corrected throughout the course of this year, will the player be eligible to play for JC next year? Given that he has the age under 19. I am wondering, as I said that, I am wondering if I'm trying to make too much out of this scenario. But I am not putting out there for you to form any your own conclusion, or for you to speculate, because I am concerned. I am concerned. Jamaica College now is placed on 3 years probation. If the school is placed on probation, no, that means that they have done something wrong, people. So therefore, I would love to know the factor that caused this player now to deem ineligible. Was it a fault of the player, or was it a fault of the school? Let us put it the other way. Is it that the school is responsible for such action? Or is it the player? Because what I'm seeing here, Jamaica College is unfair to be using a player who is ineligible. And the status of the school, people, the status of Jamaica College. Jamaica College, I believe, would have won more schoolboy titles than any other school in Jamaica. A matter of fact, this Jamaica College we're talking about has been described or dubbed to be Jamaica College Football Club, based on the number of players they have, based on the number of recruits they have done every single year after year. Come, Sadi, don't go down there. Don't go down there. Let's keep it right there. All right. You understand what I'm saying? Who is at fault? Who is responsible? Remember now, the coach at Jamaica College is not the first year's coaching. The HODs in the school, whoever in the schools doing sports are managing the affairs of the registration. This is not the first time. The principal is not the first year he's been the principal of Jamaica College. And I'm sure he understood every single step of the way as it relates to eligibility and registration. Me not doubt that. And remember, we have this saying that we say ignorance is no excuse of the law. Ignorance is no excuse of the law. But the questions will continue to ask. The questions will continue to ask. This one more. Let me go again. You see me pause as if I'm expecting answers. I'm expecting answers, right? All right, let me look at it again, people. And for your estimation, this is what I want to ask the question. Let me ask this question. Here's that press release. All right, let's look at this again. And I want to size this up because there are much more questions out there than answers. No, I am going to put it my way now. Finish the questions. So I'm going to not answer the questions because I ask them because I need answers. I can't answer them. So this is how I sum up this whole thing. This is my whole speculation. This is my speculation. All right? Let's get into it. All right. One, for any player to represent his school, he must meet the basic requirements. Let's name the requirements. One, he must be less than 19 years old on or before August 31 or before September 1. Any way you want to put it. So if he's 19 August 31, he's good. Maybe if he's 19, the 1st of September is also good enough. I'm not sure. But let us use the August 31 to be ensure that we are on the right path. So that's one of the things. That is the main part. Not it doesn't matter what. If you're 19 after that, you're out of it. All right. Let's look at so that isn't the first one. The first one, you must be a student at the school. You must be a student at the school. There are others we're talking about now. You must have 80% attendance for the school year. That's another basic requirement. You must have 4 subject pass or 4 subjects, 45% and over if you are between grades 1 and 11. You're following people. So if you are grade 7 to 11, at the time of registration, you must pass internal exams. And I shouldn't say pass, but you must have 45% in 4 internal exams. Those are school exams, no external. So we don't matter what the exam want to be. The exams are the tests that you're set in your school. Could have been A plus B equals C. It could have been as basic as that. If that is because there's an internal exam, not external. If you are in 6th form or going to 6th form, you must have 4 CXCs. And now they are accepting City and Guilds. If you're in 6th form as well, you must also be enrolled in doing at least 3 CAPE level subjects. If you continue in 6th form, I think you have to have 4 CAPE. Is it 4 CAPE too? But I stand for correction for that. Those are the eligible, basic one. Now it goes further to talk about transfer and the whole works. So if you're coming from school B to school A, you must be and over the age of 15, you should spend at least 1 full year. Yes? 1 full year in that school. So you're coming from school A to JC, you must spend 1 year at JC before you can represent JC. Once you're over 15 and over. It used to be if you're coming from an ISA member school, but I think the rules have now saying it doesn't matter where you're coming from. Yes? Because I tell you, you think them big school are easy? In the past, the school, because they say it's a member school, you know where the schools them start, man. People start get people from the Caribbean. I'm a type from even Africa. And they just come in and play because they're not coming from a member school. But this I found out and realized that they are going around the system. And with good FC, with good FC, we're talking about good for that, They are the champions of that aspect of it, not just the champions of Manning Cup. So let us look at it now. People, you dive into it. You let me know what could have happened. Let me tell you. Leo Fierce, what City and Guilds? And is it Caribbean recognized exam or just Jamaica? All right, City and Guilds people is an English-based exam. It is an English-based exam that, in my view, and I shouldn't say in my view, it's more of a practical-based exam. So it doesn't matter which subjects, it's practically inclined. All right, so it is an English-based exam. And it is also not just recognized in the Caribbean or Jamaica, but right across Europe, I was told. But I'm sure it is in England. All right, good. So let's see if I can. I hope that answer your question, Sir Leofius. Now, I'm gonna let you know, people, which factor affect this young man or affect JC. It is alleged, or it was alleged. You're welcome, Leo. It was alleged that this young man, the factor that affected him is transfer. Is a transfer factor. And I'm still using that alleged because ISA have not said to us what makes this player ineligible. Oh, it's your first time hearing that exam? Yeah, man, it is. Let me see if I can give you the right spelling of it too. So it is City. I think that's how it is spelled. So you can do the research on the boss. No, people. And that City and Guilds exam, I think it covers a lot of subjects, a whole lot of subjects. Art NSNT right now. That's basically what they are using of one of those the written papers, City and Guilds. Yes, especially to move to the levels 3, 4, and so on. All right. So, as I said, it is alleged that is a transfer situation that has JC in this problem. All right? I'm going to say alleged now. Nah, stop saying it because the thing is, people, I'm going to let you know. I knew all about the situation from day one. I knew about the situation from day one. I was surprised. I was surprised. I was surprised to see that Bala representing JC in that game. And I watched it on TV, and I wasn't at the stadium. But put it this way, as I said to you, the alleged factor is transfer. So I'm gonna just discuss the transfer aspect of it. All right? Now listen to me now, people, and help me too because I don't know it all. But as I said before, for a student to represent a school through transfer, he or she As even though we're talking about man in cup, but me talk about students now. The student must be attending the school or the second school for at least 1 year. And the 1 year we're talking about, people, is not one school year, it's one calendar year. Because the school year starts in September, the school year continues in December, and the school year done in June or July. So you can go to school June, and you still, if you're going to use school year, you go in the June and you finish July during the school year. So it is a calendar year. Meaning, if you start August or September, you will eligible in September the following year. So it's a calendar year. Is there anybody from ISA or any other person who understand this rule can come out and tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong? But I stand for correction. But that's how I interpret it and that's how I understand it. All right. Let's go again. So I'm discussing the transfer factor in this one. If a student transfer, there are two main letters. As a matter of fact, there are three letters that the Ministry of Education requires for a student to be properly transferred or correctly transferred. One, the school that the child is going must write or give the parent an acceptance letter, meaning the school accept the child to come into their school. That's the first part. The second part of it is that the school that is coming from or is leaving must therefore write what is called a release letter to say that, yes, I am sanctioned or certified that I am releasing this child based on whatever reasons they are seeking the transfer for. Can I repeat? The school that is going to must write a letter signed by the principal or his or her designate, yes, and stamp on the school letterhead because it's official business. It's a legal thing. So school A, in the fact that JC, who is accepting the child, the principal would have to write an acceptance letter. Say, I accept this child based on the reason for transfer the parents is giving. And then the school that he's leaving from must also write a letter that he's willing to release the child based on reasons seeking the transfer. Now, there's a third letter that the parent must write to the Ministry of Education, giving the reasons for transferring the child or seeking the transfer. But I can tell you there are a number of times that that third letter, the letter from the parents, are missing. And I don't think ISA having a problem with that letter. The two letters that ISA ensure that must be presented to them during their registration is the acceptance and the release letters. So let me ask now, or should I theorize? Did JC write that acceptance letter? I believe they do. But did the school that he was leaving present or write a release letter? I don't know. But let's say they do. Just for argument, let's say they do. Or did. No. If that aspect of the transfer takes place, is it a factor that this child, this boy, this student, this baller did not spend 1 year in Jamaica College? It is alleged as well that the school he's coming from did not release the child. And I will not call the school name that he's coming from. But it is alleged that that school did not release the child. So therefore, if that is so, then there's a problem. All right. So that's A of that transfer part. Part B of it now. For JC to prove that this child was a student in this school, in that school, for 1 year, they must present their attendance record. They also has to present their academics record. And with the academics records, I'm suspecting that we're talking about school reports over 3 terms. Because if he's in the school for 1 year, he must do 3 terms, 3 different internal exams. Then, 3 terms in the school year, and after every end of a term, there is an exam, or there are examinations for different subject areas. But what puzzled me, I am sure that JC would have crossed the T's and dot the I's. And again, I still have to use the factor that it's a legend, so a transfer issue, because it's an say it, It can be age too. But me know personally know say no age factor. I know that it's not a age factor. But if was given, if those 2 letters were presented, what else could be the problem? Is it that this boy did any at all attend JC for 1 year? Did he attend JC for only 2 terms instead of 3, or only 1 term instead of 3? Or probably no term at all? You tell me. Help me out here, because I'm at a loss right now. No, people, listen. If for any reason, that JC did not present academics and attendance record to ISA, and ISA carelessly register this youth with the information given without checking all of that, then ISA, have no authority to sink this youth. I don't think so. Because you'd have dropped the ball, it's your responsibility. If I decide that I want this player who is 20 years old to play, and I manufacture that age and try to change it around, or the name, or whatever the case is, whose responsibility to check that? Whose responsibility to ensure that the information given to you are correct? You did the cross-examination. No, I'm not taking Issa to task right here, because they have a different ball game to deal with. I am just saying, if that was the case, where all those information were presented to Issa, or there were no information present, but yet still he was registered and was given an ID, because you have to fully register and properly register to be given an ID to play. Yes, Leo, yes. So a transfer and null and void if one school doesn't sign that transfer letter. Yes, sir. If both letters are not there, it is not done properly. And what ISA would do is to inform the school that, listen, there's a missing part of the puzzle. Please present to us before this boy can be registered. How will we know that? They wouldn't have issued an ID because they never get 2 letters. So that's why I believe that the 2 letters were there. That is why I believe also that JC would have presented academic records and attendance records. So Leofius, you continue to ask, what can be done if a child wants to be a transfer from a school and the school you want to transfer from refuse to sign that transfer? Many times, Leo, that is a common assault. Common assault. But unfortunately, I am unable to answer you tonight. I can't answer that, Mr. Leofius. Cannot. I don't have the. That's above my pay grade. Then put it that way. The Sadi Crest show doesn't reach that stage to take up that sort of thing. Or even in my personal and professional stance, I am unable to answer that because that is another story that the Ministry of Education, along with ISA, will have to deal with. All right? Good. What I can say though, if the school doesn't want to sign that release letter, the parent can take the issue to the Ministry of Education. And that's why the letter for the parents to the Ministry of Education seeking the transfer, it is also important. Because if my son or my daughter is leaving school here and I said, listen, this area that the school is in is too violent for my child. I am not comfortable with this child going in and out of that area every day. Or the transportation system is of such that it is not good for my child. Yes, because we don't have regular taxi, but we have an easier route. No, you can't tell me say you can't release that child and may have issues. If I found it to be too expensive getting that child to school A, and I can get it half the amount I'm spending now at school B, why not? So those are issues. So that's where the parent letter is important, Leo. But I cannot definitely answer to you what could be done. Good? All right. Let's get back to this. You see where the thing nice? All right, get bad. This is people, we're going 48 minutes and we don't touch a preview today. But let's go again. If this player played on that first match, that means you'd have gotten an ID. Got or receive an ID for the player would have meant that the player is duly registered. He has filled in all the blanks, so he's duly registered. What happened? How comes? Somebody else outside of ISA, somebody outside of JC, somebody outside of the school, Tivoli, who is playing from, or in Tivoli, can say, this boy is not properly transferred. Something is wrong. How come ISA did not pick that up? Is it that ISA is so short staffed? Like some agencies we have in government in Jamaica. The way they're short staffed, the jobs cannot be done correctly. The way we short staff in Jamaica. So if that is the case, we need to hear from is the player in mention played any other game apart from that Tivoli game? Sir, I am not sure, but based on the press release, I think it is only the Tivoli game. Why? Because they said that is only Tivoli game they're going to lose the points for. So more likely is the Tivoli game alone. All right? I think the second game they would have had washout, so maybe if you never wash out, you would have played. Just say. Don't say that would have happened, but So the question now me have to ask, people. I'm going to ask you, because no found know the things them. No found out they know the things them. I go and like say no one say it and talking, I think. All right. So I am saying that ISA would have gotten all of those information for that child to register. Then get it. Me know ISA not drop that the ball this. Me know it's an answer, all right, that JC this. Me just send in all of them player, and after we send them in, we double check them. It's an answer do that. ISA has a credibility, people, that they will not allow such things to happen. I can tell you that, and I will testify for them. Unless in recent time you have people in ISA now who are devious, are deviants. I mean, I think so. I don't think so. All right. So I strongly believe that Jamaica College would have presented to JC all those things that were necessary for ISA to duly register that player, to the fact that he got an ID and his name now appears on the match card. A lot of cross examination, you know, a whole lot. No, if JC present all of that, I will still find that the player is ineligible through transfer. And what happened? You know, the only thing could have happened from here now, people, if it is a transfer problem. I mean, I say if, because ISA have not said to us, this is what made the player ineligible. And I will try my very best by Monday to get some information directly from ISA to find out what is the issue, because I don't want people to continue on this because the case done, you know. It try and done, but we know we're not gonna let it up. We want to know. I want to know. Because ISA done with the case by putting out the press release, so they know I do not more. They want no more than that. I'm going to ask the question, isn't the only school? No, that's not the only case right now. But only one been dealt with. If money was involved, ISA would be on top of it, whether short staff or not. We say if money was involved, there's a lot of money involved in football. That I can say. There's a lot of money involved in schoolboy football, your face. But I'm not knowing to what level you're talking about. So, my conclusion now, people, again, my conclusion, and it's my allegation. This is my allegation now. If those documents that were presented to ISA would have used them to register the child. Are those documents false? Are those documents that were presented to ISA for registration of this baller were incorrect? That is the question. That is the question. But who can answer that, people? Who is good enough to answer that? Who is brave enough to answer that question? I will not go further into that as the question is asked, because I will be taking it further, as I said. But let us look at the part B of this aspect of the registration. Maybe this child, maybe the student, this baller, student athlete, any way you want to call it, find himself in the quota rule. I wonder if he was the fourth member. I remember saying, yeah, it's a 3-quarter, you know. So in the quota rule, only 3 transfer you can use at any season. So maybe, as it relates to that aspect of the transfer, he falls in the quota rule. But why would that particular player be targeted if it is a quota rule? The other school would know who are the quotas. They can suspect. But why would that it have been that particular player and not another one? So again, we can back off of that and say no quota. That's no quota issue. I'm going to ask this question again for the last time. Did the documents presented by JC to ISA, were they false? Were they manufactured documents? So you're talking about this particular case, Leo? Oh, All right. Again, sir, I can't answer that. That one, I can't manage that one delay. People, you know, not easy. Please hit the like button, man. Come on, man. Hit the like button. If you don't hit it yet, come across. If you're in and you're not saying anything, you can't type, you can't do the chat, make sure you know, say, you subscribe. All right, put it this way now. If you want to call, let me put the number in so you can call. All right? But don't text me. Call. If you want to text, use the live chat. Can't monitor the phone right now. So let's use the live chat. So let's go again. Let's go again. Is the transfer the factor that would have brought this investigation to life and found JC to be guilty? You see how unfair the system is to youngsters, people. That child could not bring about the particular documents that need him to birth. Only thing he can bring about it, listen to what I say now, in birth certificate. That's his responsibility. If he's coming from another school to sixth form, this exam, external exam result, whether it be CXC or City and Bills. But as it relates to report, him have to in high school and do him work. Him have to attend school. So now him bring about no attendance, no school record. The school have to do that and provide that. But yet still, the person or the who is mostly affected and have a damning situation in this young man's life. I can just imagine people what he's going through now. Knowing that he could have been at the school that he was and representing that school with dignity. But because of what's happening now in football, people, with the whole transfer thing, and everybody want to have a big team. The big football clubs in schoolboy football, yes? The big clubs in schoolboy football just go in and soup up the players. And knowing so them have two. Listen, man, JC, you on probation? I'm going to say this now, people, without any apology. Issa, you need to revisit. You need to revisit the sanctions that are handed on to JC. JC no suffer. No, the only thing JC suffer is the 3 points and 3 goals. A matter of fact, only 1 goal in suffer. Because they had scored 2. So but put it this way. That's the only sanction. And I'm saying again, if it is the alleged transfer rule, JC is the sole responsibility for these things. And now you want to tell me that the youth are going to sit down now. I'm here. He probably never want to go back to school. He probably so embarrassed that he don't want to leave his house. What are the support structure there for these youth? For this youth? Tell me. What form of support structure is there for him now? And JC continue to enjoy themselves. But then again, you ban JC. The other legitimate players would suffer. JC has a responsibility. And I think Jamaica College, similar to a press release that Issa does, Jamaica College need to come out and say something, whether it's in the form of an apology or an explanation. So if the documents for this child is fraudulent, who do you think found that out and bring the proof to Issa? Leo, me sure I know Sadi Crest show find out, you know. Sadi Crest show never find out nothing. And Sadi Crest show never put nothing to Issa. I am just getting on the case, sir. But it's a good question. It's a good question. But I can touch a little of it, Leo. Who do you think found that out? Leo, you see right now in Jamaica football, in schoolboy football, you see once you're a good player, almost every coach, every team, every other player in our country know you are in your circles. Because these players play for other clubs, which other team members from other schools play with them. They know each other, man. Coach them at club A. And for them to get the proof, it must have come from one next school if it is transfer. You know? So the school that is coming from, it got involved. No, must be involved. They must be involved. And let's say, for argument's sake, he's coming from school B. So we have to go to school B to find out when did he leave school B or how long was he a student at school B. And, sorry. And school B come up and say, well, my records showing me that he was at school June last year. Argument done, you know. Because we'd have had the proof his academic records, his attendance record would have been there, and any other record, whether it be disciplinary issues, whether it want to be other involvement in other school life, those things would have happened. It is very possible that this kid was misled by JC, and the school is coming from, and that's sad. Blessings, family and friends. Big up Mr. Dallas, the chairman. Leo is not joke. He is misled. He was misled by JC. Me done. He was misled. And you know the next thing, people? We're talking about with the individual. How comes the coach? How comes the coach people or the team manager no get no sanction? Whoever responsible for the registration as well. How come none of those persons are sanctioned? But you're talking about 3 years probation. I am wondering though, Issa. Me just a wonder, I'm just wondering if it was a school with a less name, less structure of JC, would this be the same sanction? If it was a school like my farmer high school, with little or no name in football, in sports, in academics in this country, would just they be under 3 years probation? Or would they be banned for 2 years or three? I know what it is like to be banned. I was given a 2 year ban already for what I didn't deserve, and not because it was me. It was not deserving of me, but it is the politics people. It is the people who decide to call the shot, who are responsible to oversee these things and take little. They have not done their research, but because of the school and my name, because poor we never have no name them time. If it was 5 years ago, they wouldn't touch me. But it is the case. But I'm gonna ask the question again, Issa. If it was a school like Yuatan High School, a school like Donald Quarry, yes, Penwood, those schools not doing so well in football, and this case comes up, would it be a probationary period for these schools? Let me know. And I'm hoping that I'll get a representative from ISA, whether live on the show or a personal talk, because I need to have these things cleared up. Yes, people are expecting Sadi Chris to present factual information, right? I'm writing people? Yes. So I'm going to the bottom of that one. I need it. We need to settle that. So again, I will leave this aspect of Jamaica College. Why is it only the student affected be banned? Why there's no one from the coaching staff, the management staff, or the school been banned from ISA run competitions for this year? This boy never registered himself. And worst case scenario, if ISA, if your findings, just like what you find, you found that they are ineligible, he was ineligible. What makes him ineligible, Is it that the JC provided what the term Bridget used, fraudulent document? Was that the case, Issa? And if that is the case, that warrant more than just the probation period. I can safely say that is high level of corruption. That is a high level of corruption. If that is the case, if the alleged factor is through transfer, and you know Issa found out that it is wrong, and they misled Issa, they misled you, Issa. You are the one represent the school, you are the represent Jamaica and the football scene. And sports, you bring about some of the best in the Caribbean. In the Western Hemisphere, you cannot find another championship as girls and boys championship nowhere in the Caribbean, maybe not even in the United States. Your schoolboy run competition with other Caribbean country players want to come and play. You have been doing such a great job. So JC misled you too, not just the little youth. And by misleading Issa rather, they misled us too. Let me keep me calm here, man. We're done with that. JC coaching staff should be banned for at least 2 years for misleading this young man. I can't be so. Trust me, Leo, I fully agree with you. I am so. They should double up whatever the young man get. The coaching staff, they are at least the head coach because of his responsibility. And the truth is, while I believe JC as a school in the Dakar in the Manning Cup deserve to be banned for this season at least, they should get kicked out of the competition. But because of the youngsters who are there who are fear, leave them in there. Let somebody else coach and somebody else manager. The coach and the manager and those who are responsible for the registration should go. Pack your bags and go. If transfer is the case, and I'm dead serious about it. I am so upset about it. I am sorry for the young man. I'm an advocate for students. That's what I get paid to do. Just like you, coaches and teachers. Just like you, Mr. Principal at JC. That's what you get paid to do. But yet still we put this young man in such a situation. And you can smile because you have the team to come from 3-0 down and 3 points down to come blow the other teams. But I hope that this is not just a message. I hope that this is not just a message to JC and to the other schools who are involved in these nonsense. Big up Unseen Sports TV. Big up yourself, my boss, Mr. Parchment. You're there. Boy, Parchy, the news are not pretty. But you know what it is like to be banned. And these schools. But I understand too, and I understand why I believe Issa so light and JC. And on the Monday night show, I'm going to continue with that Monday night to say the reason why. And why I'm not saying no, because I need better clarity from Issa. Because all that I'm saying tonight, the allegation of the factor that deem this young man to ineligible to play, it's an allegation. Because Issa have not yet said it. And I want to know what is the reason. Is it because the boy ugly why him ineligible? Tell me the truth. Is it because, Let's leave it right there. People, you know, pretty. It no pretty at all. All right, JC. People, there's another case. There's another case with Heidel as it relates to ineligibility. But I don't know why Issa didn't couple the cases together and do one thing. So one school is now dealt with, and there's another. I have heard it's alleged that these are transfer or the quota cases that is affecting Heidel. And I've heard people from the Heidel camp saying that this is is an attack on the school because some schools needed to get points from the boardroom. I suspect that they're talking about Casey when they wrap up. But whether it is Casey, Bridgeport, Calabar, not Bridgeport, Campador, whichever team in that group want to file that um, report. If you are unfair, you're unfair. If you know fair play, you know fair play. That's all I'm saying. But because the Heidel case is not yet dealt with, I'm not gonna go into it. All right? Because as I said to you, I do my own research, I have information, but again, right now, all of these are allegations. The cases are now being investigated. But I strongly believe that Issa could have moved with a quicker pace. Issa could have coupled both cases together. Why? I was reliably informed too that the players who are in question from Heidel, that they were instructed not to play any other games. So if they were, that means they are doing investigation. And if they reach a stage, they say, don't play any other game. And the coaches from Heidel comply not to play them. Uno say something wrong. Uno tell me. Uno say something wrong, people. The other thing, it's not just in the Manning Cup, people. I've heard of a case in the Dakasta Cup. There's a case in the Dakasta Cup, an alleged case of overage in the Dakasta Cup. Again, these are just allegations. And I know the persons who are doing their thorough research and making those reports are sure of what they are saying. But again, we will wait on you, Issa. Do what you have to do. Ensure that you do the right things. So join late, so you don't get the details. Why, Dallas? There are so many things to talk about, man. So I don't know how I'm gonna give this detail at all. Trust me. But I was looking, all I'm on is the issue with JC. The press release that Issa sent out that JC found guilty of using an ineligible player for the Manning Cup opening match versus Tivoli on September 9th. So all I was just doing is looking at the factor, what could have caused this player to be ineligible? And there's a number of factors. But it's alleged that it's a transfer issue. It is alleged that it's a transfer issue. Personally, I've known some of it and know the issues surround the player, but I'm not sure what is the direct, what is the definite factor. Because Issa in their press release have said nothing. They have made it wide and allowing all of us now to speculate what could have caused the player or deemed that player to be ineligible. That's all. Hope that sums it up. And Heidel also have some issues, but it's still under investigation, so I'll not go into it until Issa has made a ruling. All right? Now I've heard and I've reliably informed people, and my investigation, my own investigation and research has shown that in the Dakasta Cup, very close in the Dakasta Cup, very, very close to some of us, that there is a player who deemed to be playing and is overage. Is overage. I cannot say if it is so true and how comes Issa would have registered an overage player. Is it that this player has registered in a different name? Is it that this player birth certificate has issues on it? Let's say the date of birth or maybe a mistake with the registration of birth. I'm not sure. So again, until I get the finer details, then I will go into the discussion. Which D cup have the old man? I have seen some play in a particular school looking my age group. I wonder if it's at them. You tell me which school boy you see look like your boss. You tell me. You know, if you call the name of the player at the school, but tell me now which match or who them play against. Don't call the school name, but tell me which team they play against and we can sum up from there. So as I said earlier, it is unfair for me to call names right now without getting the facts. Yes, and I said the facts, written information. Just like how Issa put out that, we know so we can place it because I out there. All right? Dallas Saris. Dallas Saris. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. All right, people. I really wanted to have a few, two coaches for the talk, the pre-game talk, and unfortunately, again, not be able to do that. But a lot of the coaches are really busy, so just have to see and wait. All right, people. We just have a few minutes. We want to look or take a look into the results of the games that were played yesterday that I predicted. Yes, that I predicted. Um, let me see again. Some more people I just got about three scores, and I'm just gonna call them as I get them. Um, call them as I get them. All right. So the scores that I got for today's game: Cornwall College, Cornwall College 4, Spot Valley nil. I had that win in the bag as well. All right. Um, we also have Taki. You remember I tell you that Taki going Joan Iona. I said it, Taki 10, Iona nil. And Giovanni McLean, bag and a trick. All right. So all the other goals were scored by 7 different players. Is it 7 or 6 different players? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 7 different players. Every goal away from that hat trick by Giovanni McLean. Big up yourself, Mr. Hat trick man. St. Mary take 1, Anata Bay 2. Well, I think I had St. Mary take to win that one. 2-1. It is the other way around now. St. Mary lost by 2 goals to 1 from Anata Bay. So I lost that one big time. So I didn't get the results of Dembe Older, but let me see if I can get it live right now. But the results for Dembe and Oldaba, I didn't get that result. Is there anyone can provide with us? We also have just Dembe Oldaba. Let's see if there's any live score here. I don't see any score now. Alright, 1 sec. I'm really sure. I'm gonna go like them be run away because this thing going score 2 goals today now. Alright, how do I find the results now, people? How do I find the results? Them be older by is in which zone? Them be older, but is it the Glenroy zone, right? I want to see that them be older by game. Trust me for that. Them be older by game is a must see game. I'm trying to find the results. If it's gonna take me a long time, I'm not gonna go slow. To be honest, because Dembe Oldaba. Dembe Oldaba. All right. So, oh, Dembe. It seems that the game was drawn, man. Dembe and Oldaba. Yes. How can I come? Oh, what's going on in this zone, man? What's going on in this zone, people? Trust me. I see Oldaba in third position, right? Oldaba in third position. So Dembe and Oldaba drew 1-1. All right. Uh, so yeah, man, Dembe and Oldaba drew 1-1. All right. So that was a drawn game today. All right. So because I don't have the further result, people, let's just go into the predictions so far tomorrow. All right. Predictions so far tomorrow. So the Doncaster Cup games for tomorrow, people. The Doncaster Cup game for tomorrow. Sydney Pagan versus BB Coke. This game might get BB Coke a 3-0 victory over Sydney Pagan. That's right. Next one, Merlin Atty versus Green Island. I think Green Island will run away a comfortable 2-0 victory over Merlin Atty. Then we have Rossies. We have Rossies versus From. Rossies versus From. Ah, I'll have to continue. I'll have to continue with Rossies. I see Rossies beating From by a narrow margin, 2-1 over From tomorrow's game. Ocho Rios, Ocho Richos, or Ochos Richos, Ocho Rios versus Brownstone. Mm. I think Brownstone is not a walkover team. You know. But you know, this game, I'm going to give this game a 1-all draw. Ocho Rios Brownstone to draw 1-1. Discover Bay Castle. Jeez. Somebody help me with this prediction, please. Somebody help me with this prediction tomorrow. Castle versus Discovery Bay. I think Castle will win this game by 12 goals to nil over Discovery Bay. Another, hey, Discovery Bay can't save a ball. They can't stop nothing. They're supposed to catch flow every minute of the day. Sorry. Sorry about that. Just a little fun. But, however, Castle will beat Discovery Bay 3 goals to nil. I am seeing, seems like I'm seeing a repeat. Is it that these games in this zone start to have the return legs? Because Cedric Titus and William Nib, I think they both played already. But William Nib have lost form. William Nib not going on with anything in this group, you know. So Cedric Titus, I think, is on top or around about there. I'll have to give them a good 3-1 victory over William Nib. Yes, straight off the bat. Straight off the bat. Leo Face, what's going on with the Central High? Games 10 goals conceded. Leo Face, they must be in serious problem. And I saw them in preseason. In a game in preseason, they conceded, I think, 6, about 4 in the second half from stats. About 4. But based on what I saw, they were not at full strength. Wasn't sure if stats even was at full strength. So it has been for a while. Seems like Coach Dougie couldn't find a way to patch up the little basket there. Yes, but Coach, I'll tell you, if basket can carry water, you know, you have to put a plastic bag in it, yeah? Can't just with it that way. So Leo, I don't know. I will try and reach out to Coach to find out if he will give me, you know, some in-depth thing. I 1-on-1, not going to put him up just like this until he has a game. But let's see what happens. About not Gallimore Fern Court, I think we front quote a 2-1 victory over about that Gallimore. All right. Black River Nakalva. Easy win for Black River people. 3-0 over Nakalva, Black River. Manning's Granger. You know, I'm not sure how well Manning's playing. They are grinding out results, but I think they will have the advantage of giving them a 2-0 victory over Granger. Newell and Lakova. I'm not too sure about this Newell Lakova matchup, really. So I'm gonna just guess it. I'm gonna leave it for a draw, people. 2-2, Newell Lakova. All right. Statesman Road. Oh my God. I think that would have been the top of the zone. Yes. But you know, States is States. So States will have a comfortable 3-1 victory over Manu. States, I don't think States yet conceded or they do concede one. But I'll give States the victory. 3-1 over Manu. Magati versus Roger Clark. Magati versus Roger Clark. Ah, 2-1 to Magati. Magati to win 2-1. Manchester High versus Mount St. Joseph. My God. Manchester High to beat Mount St. Joseph by 11 goals to nil. I don't think they 11 nil drop it. So I go with 11 nil. 1-1 me I call it. So 11 nil. 2-1 tonight. Mount St. Joseph, you can't stop Manchester tomorrow, boss. Unless there's another earthquake during the game. But the only earthquake, I believe, will be the 11 nil riot that Manchester will come to. The Carteret College of Across Keys, this is the Carteret. I think I'll bring the Carteret to win this one. Doesn't matter what Cross Keys are doing, but the Carteret College should get through Cross Keys by 2 goals to 1. Lennon versus Edunalin. This is the feature game on the Saudi Press show tomorrow. Lennon versus Edunalin. No doubt, Lennon, I believe, I suspect that Lennon would have a stronger team this year than what they had last year, you know. But somehow I've not seen it. I think Lennon only have had one victory so far, and I don't think they will have enough to stop Edunalin to score 4 goals to 1. So tomorrow, Edwin should win Lennon easily 4 goals to 1. Clarendon Thompson Town, it would be good if Thompson Town could do an upset, but I can't see them stopping the college at all. So I'll give in Clarendon College to beat this Thompson Town team 5 goals to 0, people. Coach Lenkira, you know me, I'm a bridging, but at the fact. That's how I see it. That's my prediction, not a gamble. So Clarendon College should win 5-0 over Thompson Town. And if you notice in this one, people, it's a ding dong battle between this Clarendon College and Edwin. It's goal difference separate them. So the top of the table clash with Edwin and Clarendon College will come on Tuesday, where Edwin will host Clarendon College. What a match that will be! Can't go into that prediction yet. Leave that for Monday. Kellits versus Claude McKay. My drinks done. Let me say show if you done. Kellits versus Claude McKay. Claude McKay can't hold back anything. Kellits has won a game already, but there are some unfortunate situations. Maybe they will get a chance to bounce back from that last game that they were beaten. There you go. They were beaten. Is it 5-0 by Edwin or 4-0? I think it was 5-0 by Edwin or 6-6 by Edwin. So Kellits will bounce back. I think they will edge Claude McKay by 2 goals to 0 tomorrow. So Caranal versus St. Mary High. Again, St. Mary High will beat Caranal by 2 goals to 0. Wycliffe Martin and Horace Clark. Horace Clark people, I see them dropping Wycliffe. So I'm looking for a 6. And they're going to score a cancellation. So 6-1 to Horace Clark tomorrow. Charlie Mount McGrath. Wow. A Mount watering game, people. This will be a Mount watering game tomorrow. Charlie Mount versus McGrath. This game is very difficult to call. I've seen a little bit of both teams. And when I say a little bit, I see Magra full match. I also see Charlie Mount with a full game and a half. McGrath to me is a better team than Charlie Mount. Compliment. A matter of fact, in this zone, people, and maybe in the Dakasta Cup, I'm telling you, people, look out for this McGrath team. They are the hardest running team I have seen so far. They run hard and they are technically correct. Good team. But this match will be played at Charlie Mount. McGrath has lost one. They have won one. So, and they have won just scrape over Edith Bennett. Even though they are the quality team, I think they probably up there are probably in line with Dingtil as a better team in the zone. Yeah. But on the days where the match will come, I think this game will end up in a draw. I give this game to play a 2-all draw. Charlie Mount, I don't see them scoring a lot of goals, but where it comes on to set piece and those things, they have that good. So if they give them those opportunities, they will score. Magra is running hard and they will score as well. But in defense, I think both teams kind of slap you somehow, especially in the goalkeeper department. The goalkeepers to me are weak. So a 2-2 victory, 2-2 draw that for me for both games. All right. The other game in that zone is Dingtil should go to Enid Bennett. So Enid Bennett will host Dingtil at what's the field name again down there in Bagua? Choju's field, at the Choju's field. All right. So again, Akeem Gale, CC. Bless up yourself, Mr. Gale. Bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up. Yes. So Dingtil versus Enid Bennett. People, Dingtil, as I say, is the quote unquote the best team around here. But this one, as I said, it's so competitive. Right now, only you and I are joking this one. You and I have no guts. No guts at all. And coaches at you at high school, you have a lot of work to do. If you are to end up winning any game in this zone, in this competition, which I was expecting you to do, but for you to get back, you at all. You have to wheel and come again. But this zone people, it's so competitive. In Bennett have a team that is not a full rounded team, but they have a team that can hurt just about any team. So Dingtil going there, favorite to win, but I'll give them a narrow victory. A 3-2 victory over Enid Bennett. You hear me? 3-2 victory. That's where I'm taking it on my prediction for tomorrow. Dingtil. All right, people. So I don't see any other prediction here. I don't know what's happening. So if you don't have any other prediction, come on, man. Let me know what's happening. All right. So people, this is where I end my show tonight, and I have to get a good night rest. I have a long day tomorrow, long travel, early morning wake up, have some chores in and around the house to do, and then on the road to Clarendon and to do this game. So remember, people, take on the Shadi Chris show tomorrow. Live stream at 3:50, coming out of Lennon High School, Lennon versus Edunali. That's where the feature game for the Shadi Chris show will be. Who will win that game? I have given my prediction. What say you? And remember, on the Shadi Chris live stream, you don't just watch football, you listen to commentary. And hope I'll be able to provide same for you tomorrow. God bless you and hope to see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, by extension, everyone. All right? Blessings. Yeah, man.